Hello there. This is Big Meach from Dishing Tea with Big Meach, and I'm trying to get somewhere where you guys can see me. I'm always having problems with lighting issues. However, I want to sit down and talk with you guys and give my particular feelings on this whole terroristic encounter that we've just had in Orlando, Florida. Uh, this here is a complete and total travesty. I've been dealing with this all day, as all of you have. I wanted to see the comments and hear what my colleagues had to say before I weighed in. Many of you were able to come live or become, you got on this right away. And I didn't want to come across too emotional right in the heat of it. So I wanted to give myself time to collect myself, and I don't think that I still have it all collected like I would like. However, I am going to offer this because to understand what is going on, to me, my mind is working a little bit differently than everyone else. I am pissed. I'm beyond pissed. Okay, I'm livid. I am absolutely livid. I am perturbed. I am frightened. I am hurt. I am deeply saddened. I am wounded. I am absolutely in a complete disarray. I'm shocked. I'm flabbergasted in some regards. I'm all of the above and beyond in this because this completely has no sense. But I will go here because I don't believe in coincidences, and this is completely too coincidental that this particular massacre, the worst massacre that we've had in the history of the United States of America. That's on land, that is. Now, we're not talking 9/11 because that wasn't a massacre, that there was a terroristic attack. This was a complete terroristic massacre. Over the shootings that we've had at the schools and all the other things that we've had here, for a single person to do, this is by far the worst in our history. We have 50 people dead. 53 people injured. And we don't even know the extent of their injuries. And and that's saying a lot because we don't know if they're injured enough to where it may cause death or what. We don't know. And I'm saddened because it is no coincidence to me that this particular massacre is happening on the heels of a lot of political bullshit that we have here in America. This was an American citizen. He pledged his life to ISIS, so the reports are saying. So that makes him a terrorist. And so this has become a terrorist act. This has become an act of hate. And it is no coincidence that this is on the heels of two of the LGBT referendums that we have in the political arena that make no sense to anyone. Okay? The whole transgender bathroom thing that we are fighting with in American politics makes no fucking sense why it's there. This whole Religious Freedom Act makes no fucking sense why we are sitting up here fighting this again when it's already protected in the Constitution. It makes no sense that these two referendums are of high priority and are given all this initiative here in the United States of America. And yet we have bigger issues that are sliding up under us because anytime our government, and I believe this wholeheartedly, anytime our government has something to say or something to do that they don't want folks to get wind of right away, they throw a gay issue up and get the evangelicals and stuff all heated and things. And this massacre is on the heels of that. It's no coincidence to me. I don't. It's correlated. I'm not saying that one has to do with the other, but at the same time, it's no coincidence. Okay, it is no coincidence to me that this man has all these assault weapons and had the ammo, and yet, we're still sitting up here. I've read comments and folks that wanted still to debate about the gun laws and carrying on. And no, he should not have been, guns don't kill people, people kill people. And this, we should not have tougher gun laws and this, that, and the other. And that is ridiculous. Okay, we're sitting up here looking at stuff that makes no sense. For those of you who are NRA carrying children and carrying on, you still have not proven to me why these assault weapons are needed. Why are these kinds of weapons needed? You see what I'm saying? If this man was not able to get this assault weapon, which he got legally, everything says he checked out, he got this legally. It wasn't a backdoor deal or nothing like that. He got this legally as a carrying NRA member. Okay? He got it, and he was able to do what he's done. And that there frightens me because, folks want to argue this point down. Here's the other thing that gets me, because we are so focused on the lives that we lost, as we should be, to where there's another story. There's another guy who was in Los Angeles who the police caught because he was on his way to LA Pride in West Hollywood with a car full of ammunition and carrying on, and said that he was going to hurt folks at the gay pride event there. Now, this particular young man is claiming to be bisexual, according to what I've read in the LA Times, and they claiming that his friends that say he had no ill will toward the LGBT community, and they say now that his tweets or his Facebook or whatever it was that he put this message out on was misinterpreted, but nonetheless, he has a car full of ammunition and weaponry that he was on his way to West Hollywood's Los Angeles Pride to do damage. Okay, on the heels of what just happened in Orlando. So I'm sitting up here puzzled, and my mind is racing, because how do we as an LGBT community put ourselves together? How do we bounce back from all of this when the very essence of our being is up for grabs? This is one of my greatest fears, because I've always said that something like this will happen like on all gay cruises and stuff. I've never liked to go on boats and everything that were all gay cruises, because I said there's too many of us in one spot, and if somebody wanted to blow the boat up out the water, they could. Well, there were too many of us at one spot at the fucking bar, and this child come up in there and did just that, blew the bar up with an assault weapon. And now we have the evangelical community who are all up in arms. And yes, I saw on Facebook they're saying that Oral Roberts said the heinous thing. Then I just found out on Snoops.com they're saying that report was fake, that Oral Roberts did not say that. However, I did come across a website that is one of these real avant-garde Christian groups that supports it. They say that this is God's wrath, and the gay children are sodomites and they're devils and carrying on, and this is the price that they pay. And out of sheer ignorance, this here has no bearing on what just happened. Out of sheer ignorance and out of malice and out of hate, how can anybody who claim to be Christian, who claim that God is love and love is for everyone, how can anyone who claims that this is their creed sit down there and to applaud these kinds of efforts, to applaud this kind of hate, to applaud this kind of death, to applaud this kind of evil that has infiltrated the land? I don't understand that, and you call yourself a Christian. One of the things I will say, those who claim to be atheists and carrying on, they get a bad rap because they're told that they are the dregs of society. They're the evil ones. They're the demonic ones. They're the ones who are out to put the world against the good people and this, that, and the other. But I will tell you this, there has never been anything that an atheist has done that will surmount or surpass anything that has been done in the name of God or in the name of Christianity, or in this case, in the name of ISIS and all of this other terroristic bullshit. This is domestic terrorism, and it has international interludes because this child claiming that he wanted to be a part of the ISIS community. I don't understand that he was young. He was 29 years old. The child in Los Angeles was 20. I'm putting my earpiece in so I can make sure my mic is working. The child in Los Angeles was 20. What is going on with our youth? What have we done? How have we missed the mark that our youth is going up and feeling as though they have to pledge allegiance to all these other different things and not feeling as though home is where this is? Why have we as a people, as an American people, have allowed this kind of thing to transpire? And then on top of it, we won't get any answers from Omar because he was killed, okay? And rightfully so, in my opinion, but at the same time, it leaves us having to question, these things. Why could we not get any other answers? Why could they not have just, subdued him so that he could answer questions or whatever, or at least, give us something to contend with? It bothers me so much. It bothers me because, see, now June is Gay Pride season nationally, okay? And so what do we have to look forward to now? As a gay community, this here has become a 9/11 for us. How do we snap back from this? How do we pull ourselves together? How do we look to other prides and other events and not sit down there and say, this has the capacity of happening again? Now, I'm going to throw something out there because this here was targeted for National Gay Pride Month. But then we have Black gay prides that are sporadic across the country, and at different times. Is this going to happen there too? You know what I'm saying? We have to look at this. Now, here's something that I found very interesting that Omar it was said in an interview that he was asking folks their ethnicity and that he said he was not upset with blacks. So that there poses a puzzle to me. I'm in a quandary about all of that. Why? What was his anger? Was it towards whites? Was it towards other ethnic? What was that? Because you went into a club that was on Latino night. So, and we all know that blacks and Latinos, we're cousin races to one another. We're persons of color. You know what I'm saying? I'm not understanding that. And then he himself was Afghanistanian. That there was part of the African continent, honey, over there. And so he's colored himself. So I'm not understanding where the disconnect is. I'm having a real hard time with all of this. And here's something else that went through my mind. And it pisses me off at the same time because as this was going on, we always hear about the government, not knowing this and they can't put their hands on that. But it's awfully strange how quickly they were able to ascertain information about this guy. They followed him. When I woke up to this on the news. By 2 o'clock that afternoon, child, they done had this man, they had credit card receipts. They had that he done knew other people who were bombers and suicide bombers that were a part of ISIS and Canada. That he knew these folks. How in the hell did they find out that information so quickly? And yet at the same time, we got shit that's going on in our country that seem to be turned a blind eye to, or they feel as though, or it seems as though, it appears that they can't get that information. That was troubling me as I was listening to these reports. They sat up there and broke this man down to his most finite and minuscule parts, all within a matter of hours. And yet we got unsolved mystery of children. We have unsolved mystery of trans children that are cold cases. Why? Because nobody has taken the time to understand and to do the research and carry it on. It bothers me. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's a little off topic or whatever, but the correlation for all of this is too coincidental to be a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? This here in Orlando has just shaken up as an LGBT community, and we have got to come together. And I hate doing cliches, but in this particular event, we've got to strategize, we got to galvanize, because now it's all about our safety, it's all about security, It's all about understanding how we can enjoy ourselves. And now we got to take it to the next level. Before we could go to the clubs and be like, okay, we don't have to worry about the church children. We got to worry about the haters or whatever because we're in our own space. Now they've come and infiltrated our space and our spaces. So now how do we protect ourselves from that? And guns are not the answer, or are they? I'm not advocating guns because I read in a piece, somebody was saying, if somebody else had a gun, then perhaps they could have killed him and it wouldn't be so many lives or whatever. That wasn't the answer because remember, they said it was 11 SWAT children on the people that went up in there. 11 folks it took to kill that one boy. 11 guns against that one gun. You see what I'm saying? So it's not making sense to me. How and why do we allow this and accept this as welcome behavior? Our president they said that this was the 15th time in his presidency that he had to sit down here and give this kind of speech. That's damn near twice a year. He's been in there for 8 years, so almost 2 times a year. You got to sit down here and give this kind of speech about mass murders and carrying on. And all of them are done at the hands of a gun. And folks, and those who want to lobby these gun things or whatever, they're not seeing that part of it. Here's what I'm saying. I'm going to close on this because I didn't want to turn this into a gun thing, but I have to say this. You're upset because you feel as though your gun rights are being taken from you or whatever the case may be. Ever since 9/11, honey, as someone who has to go through the airport, I have to take off my shoes. I have to take off my belt. I have to stand up there and get a full body search and this, that, and the other. We have had to make concessions that are invasive and carrying on, but we all do it in the name of security. So if we can sit down there and go through that, for those of you who say that these gun laws and stuff are a hazard to the law-abiding citizens of carrying on, you should want to do that. Because if you are the law-abiding citizen, jumping through an extra hoop, honey, is not going to mean anything. It's just going to say that you are doing your part to remain safe so that you can have your guns and carrying on. Because the ones that we're trying to reach obviously are the ones who get through the system because they still get it. So I hear your argument about they may not work, but if they are in place, then we have that extra level of security. You see what I'm saying? I can't carry a bottle of lotion on the motherfucking plane because you say that it could be full of toxins or whatever, and it could be acid or whatever to blow the goddamn bomb up. I can't wear my shoes because you say that the children gonna put the bomb in the shoes. So we can't do all that. You want to sit there and harp about some motherfucking gun laws? Get over it, honey. We need tougher laws, and whatever the case is, we got to do that. And then that's not enough. We got to do something. We got to get to our youth because wherever that disconnect is, they have made allegiances and carrying on that are detrimental to us as a whole. And as a 46-year-old, honey, I'm going to be here to see my 125th and celebrate it the way that I do. So I need to make sure that I do my part and that I galvanize folks to do theirs. And now we have an extra layer because it was just a human thing. Now you want to bring in the hate. And now as a black gay man, that just added another extra level of security that I have to add. So now what do we do? What the hell do we do, America? Huh? I'm tired and I'm very saddened. My praise report is that we as a people can reach out and show our strength and our love to the families of those that we've lost. I'm hoping that that's nobody that I know. My Orlando folk or knowledge of Orlando people is very limited, although we're down there for Big Boy Pride often in Orlando. Pulse Bar is one of the bars that we frequented, although I've not been there personally, but that is the second home to the organization. So our alliances and our allegiances are carrying on, are being threatened. And so now we as a community we have to galvanize. We've got to make this happen so that we can feel safe, so that we can say that we are forced to be reckoned with, and we're not going to allow terrorists or whether it's domestic or international or anybody who wants to come up against us and say that they want to do this in the name of hate, in the name of unlove, in the name of whatever. They're saying that I have no place and no right to exist on this side of creation. That there is not going to happen. So we can have this David and Goliath fight if you want to, honey. But trust and truly, I got 5 stones and can take it down just like anybody else. And I'm on the front line. So with that being said, America, yeah, it's time. We're at war, and we need to understand exactly who the enemy is.